I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire.
All right, we have Ms. Potenza. Yeah.
I'm going to solve this equation here. I see fractions. In general, I like fractions and equations, and not so much. So I look for two things. Number one, can I make it a proportion easily? Not seeing it here. So number two, I kind of want to get rid of the fractions. My bottoms are 5 and 10, so the foolproof method, as in this won't fool you later, is to say, well, my bottoms are 5 and 10. 5 times 10 is 50. So I'm going to multiply each term by 50. This is my current goal. So now we're going to distribute that 50. So now I have to do 50 times 3/5. So if I have a calculator, I'm pushing 50 times 3/5, or we can use this and realize this is 50 over 1, so this is 150 divided by 5, which is 30. 50 times -1 minus 50. And then over here, same distributing deal, and we end up with 50 over 10. 50 divided by 10 is 5x, and then 50 times -3 is minus 150. And now the fractions are gone. Did I do something wrong?
No, that's
a strange look on your face.
No, that's great.
I've made a mathematical
You're doing
mistake,
great. I'm just looking through the camera here. It's,
so now I have variables on both sides. I want to get my x's on one side and my constants on the other. So I'm going to take this 5x, move her over here, and get 25x minus 50 equals 150. Ooh, negative 150. Be careful there.
Yeah, you almost lost it.
And then got to get the constants over to the other side. So I end up with 25x equals negative 150 plus 50, negative 100, and then divide both sides by 25, and x is -4.
Wow, thanks, Potenza. Looks good. Thank you.
Lights that shine, burning red, dreams of you all through my head.
So I have Mr. Paley here who's going to solve this equation.
Okay.
Yeah, how you doing, Mr. Paley?
Looking at this, group the things that have X's on one side, things that don't have X's on the other.
I hope you're going to explain what you're doing. Like you're thinking, you're saying a lot of things here.
Well, I'm just trying to think through it. You've just presented me with this equation, and as a mathematician, I'm thinking what's the best way to go about doing this. These don't have X's. Let me get those on one side.
All right.
Things do have X's. Let me get those on one side.
So is that what you? So you just move everybody with an X to one side. Is that generally how you would start?
It is.
All right, that sounds good.
Okay, now this gets a little weird. We have equal signs here. That makes a 0. That's good. I'm left with a -2 over here. Over here, I'm kind of left with something a little strange, but let me at least write what I have. 3/5 x minus 1/10 x. Okay, that looks weird.
You can move. I got you over on the side there if you want to move over to the side.
Rewrite that, and well, I'll write it exactly how I have it. And it depends how fancy you want me to get.
I'm gonna just move the camera. Excuse me here.
I know a factor, so I can do a greatest common factor. You want me to get really fancy with this, or just do it a simple way?
I want you to do it so that everyone knows what you're doing.
Okay, well, there's two fractions that are being subtracted. I guess I need some common denominators there. Turn this into tenths by multiplying by 2 over 2, which gives me 6/10 of an x minus 1/10 of an x. And
all right.
6/10 minus 1/10 is 5/10 of that x. I would divide by, well, it's the same as 1/2. So I guess I could divide by 1/2.
That works.
Same as multiplying. By its reciprocal. I don't know how fancy you want to get there, but again, this is the same as 1/2. 5 things out of 10. Just half that. Divide by 1/2. You're used to dividing by whatever's in front.
Or you can multiply both sides by 2 over 1. Either way, yeah.
Either way at this point.
That works. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Paley.
Is he alive or dead? As he goes within his head, we'll just pass him.
All right, we have Remigio here. He's going to solve this problem for us. How you doing today?
I'm good.
Good.
Okay, so this is our problem, and what I would do is get a common denominator in between.
Sounds like a good plan. Right.
So I'd multiply this whole side by 2.
So you're multiplying the top and bottom by 2.
Yes.
Okay.
It's going to be 6x over 10.
But just to be clear, you multiplied, you only wrote 1, 2 there, but you're really multiplying the top and the bottom by 2, right? So 2 over 2, really. Okay.
Alright, so you get 6x over 10.
Yeah.
You minus the 1 because you bring it down, equals 1, 10x minus 3. Alright, so now I will try to combine the like terms, so I'm going to minus the 1, 10x from this side and bring it over here.
So you have 6/10 x minus 1/10 x is really that. We could just write 5/10 x. Should we do that, or you want to do it in steps?
I'll do it in steps.
Okay, that's cool.
So, yeah. Alright, so 110x.
All right.
So now you subtract these two. You get 5x over 10 minus 1 equals negative 3. And now I'm going to add 1 to both sides.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So it's going to be plus 1. Alright, so
That's beautiful. Yep, I still got you on camera. No problem.
Alright, so bring my problem back up here.
Yeah. So you got 5x over 10 equals negative 2. And now, geez, you could just get rid of that 5 over 10. How are you going to do that?
Just actually multiply it by 10 over 5.
Yeah, multiply by the reciprocal. That sounds like a good plan. Multiply by 10 over 5 on that side, and then of course you got to do the same thing on the other side.
Alright, so this would be x, and then this over here is going to be negative 20. Try it.
Yeah,
Over 5.
yeah, sure. Which is the same thing as. That's all right. We can read it. 5. Yeah.
Negative 20 over 5, and then so you just divide
Yeah.
the negative 20 and the 5, and it's going to be x equals negative 4.
That works. That's it.
And this is our answer.
All right. Thanks, Remigio.
No problem.
Awesome.